Hey Saddam, welcome to training vlog number 6. So as usual, the vlog will be divided into 5 parts that will help you be the best cycling you can possibly be. So first we will talk about the physical training. So we will go in detail in my training peak to allow you to perfect your preparation. After we will go to the mental training of the week. So I'll read you the concept of sports psychology that have influenced me the most this week. This week I'm going to show you how to get peace of mind through excellence. Then we will go to the video of the week. It will help you recognize the influence that others have on you and the importance of realizing it. And finally, I will present you the book I finished this week and the album that I listened to most on the bike. So let's start right away with the physical training. So I started the week Thursday with a long ride on the trainer, 4 hour 30 on the roller, about 205 watt average. To pass time as normally, I give myself some technical goal to improve my stability, my pedal stroke, and also my breathing on the bike. Wednesday, I did sprint training on the 3 roller at Power Watt Nord. I started the workout with a maximum 15 seconds and finished the workout with another 15 second maximum to see the impact of the training on my ability to develop maximum power. For those interested, the first 15 seconds was at 947 watts, and the final 15 seconds was at 768 watts. Thursday, I ran 25 kilometers on Mont Royal. It was a perfect temperature. It was actually the real first day of winter training, so the temperature was just great for running. In my opinion, winter is amazing. On Saturday, I had my first ride on Zwift, a long inside ride. The goal was to simulate a group ride with a good pace. So a pretty good volume ride, 211 watt average and 141 BPM for 5 hours. Regarding strength training, I had an explosive session following the sprint training to recruit the same energy sector. And I had also 2 sessions of core to maintain stability on the bike. So every day I make sure to do stretch or massage on my upper or lower body. And finally, in terms of training load, it gives me a total of 612 TSS and a total training time of 20 hour 30 for the week. So now let's move on to the mental training of the week. So today I'm gonna explain you how you can get peace of mind through excellence. So I really encourage you to read it with me. Personally, it's a concept that greatly affects my level of happiness. So I will read it to you. Obtaining peace of mind through excellence. Wisdom, eudaimonic happiness. According to Aristotle, philosophy, the exclusion of our higher self is the path to reach the ultimate end, that is eudaimonic happiness. Using each moment of a lifetime to express personal excellence. Quote, the conclusion is that the good for man is an activity of the soul in accordance with virtue, or if there's more kind of virtue than one, in accordance with the best and most perfect kind. So that's Aristotle that tells us that. Cultivating the ability to discern between something that truly makes you feel good versus something that makes you feel good on the surface. Most of the time, what truly puts you in an elevated state of mind demands quality attention and an initial commitment. In contrast, so-far pleasure can only exist if there is a lack of awareness. Your ability to express the best version of yourself directly influences your level of satisfaction. Therefore, choosing to regularly live in harmony with virtuous action will positively influence your overall level of happiness. In simple terms, self-control keeps your mind at peace with everything you do, a wonderful and essential sentiment to well-being. Guidance. To live with arete in each moment. What arete means? Arete means excellence or virtue in the full realization of potential or inherent function by a person or a thing. There are 2 ways of living. The first one is instinctual to us, human. Their feeling guide their action and those actions guide their identity. The other way around happens when their identity drives their action and those actions drive how they feel. The same three steps in the reverse order. You will constantly face two choices. The first one is to react to the impulsion. The second one is to choose the optimal response. To favor impulsion result in a slightly higher level of happiness in the adjacent future, caused by the rush or rewarding hormone that comes with the satisfaction of the craving. Instead, choosing to live with arete create a feeling of emptiness in the proximate future due to the unfulfillment of the desire. However, regarding the mid and long-term frame, regulating your action with wisdom will cause a higher state of mind after overcoming the impulsion. Engaging in something you honestly value would be more fulfilling. The truthful experience of the moment will be also superior, and the level of future satisfaction will be higher. To do likewise will please in a more noble way the experience itself and the remembering self. Learn to create space between the stimulus and your response. In this gap, you have the freedom to choose the best response rather to react impulsively. To constantly choose the optimal answer according to your knowledge and value is the essence of self-actualization. Practice the mindful choice. Your aim is to bring awareness and attention to all your behaviors, observing if they are truly in line with the domain of the actual self and future self. So I'm going to propose you three practices. So the first one, an unnegotiable commitment toward the optimal response. Reduce the variability of your action by making the commitment to always choose the best reaction. Paradoxically, 100% commitment to always follow arete is much easier than commit at 99%. When you eliminate all the other possibilities, you do not need to argue with yourself anymore. There are no choices to make anymore, you only have to engage fully in the right answer to stimulus. Small PS here. Small distraction can be valuable asset to train your ability to notice the craving and respond optimally, rather than falling for the immediate gratification. Install a mindfulness practice. It will allow you to pause between stimulus and response and choose the answer that is guided by your value. Studies have shown that meditation increases the amount of gray matter in the brain and increases blood flow to your preferred mood context. Two components of the brain relating to focus and control. The third practice, constantly execute the right action by doing what is important now. Win. Imagine that the person who you most look up to is watching you in this present moment, right now. He is writing your biography based only on what you do today. Staying due to this practice is where your real power of influence toward your life lies. P.S. Only use this practice carefully. Your exercise must serve as a positive inspiration and at all costs avoid self-judgment. Understand that an augmentation of self-harshness will cause a greater resistance to risk failure, an essential component of learning and growing. Being highly judgmental and critical of yourself will bring an unwillingness to try. Those toxic self-analytic pattern will also result in a regular unwillingness to go out of your comfort zone. Remember, moral choices are a real work of art. Each and every one of them are partly responsible for your present and future circumstances. Balance, present and future. There are two extremes. One is constantly delayed gratification. The other is to only live for the present. Your objective is to find a middle ground, where you experience fully the joy of climbing while you're making sure you're heading towards the peak. So that's all for the mental training of the week. Now let's switch to the video of the week. This week is about recognizing the influence that others have on us. So here's a short clip on the interview with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's probably the most well-known astrophysicist. In the video, he tells us that we need to bring awareness on how people affect us and how we can convert those microaggressions by people into enthusiasm. So let's have a listen.
You can draw a line in the sand between people who transgress but do not hold power over you from those who transgress and do. So the coach who said, "Catch that nigger," he doesn't have power over Johnny Johnson unless you allow him to. This is a famous quote from Martin Luther King. You can only be ridden if your back is bent. And so in the earlier days, not only when I was less known, but just the racial climate was different. Yellow taxis in New York City would not pick me up if I was going uptown in the direction where Harlem is, whether or not I had intended to get out before then. Just wouldn't pick me up. I'd have to switch sides of the street, pretend I'm going downtown, then they pick me up, and then I say, please go up to this. So I'd have to pay an extra 50 cents for that turnaround. But that taxi driver, whatever is their bias, was not between me and my goal in becoming an astrophysicist. So I apportioned my emotional reactions to where it actually mattered for my life's trajectory.
So Neil tells
people
us that we must draw a line in the sand between the people who transgress but do not hold power over us from the ones that transgress and do. So what he says is that we can continue to ignore those who don't hold power over us, and we must learn to let go of the toxic opinion of those who have a negative influence on our life. So I would say that the main lesson here for me was to understand that we are strongly influenced. We strongly influence the amount of power people have over us. So our duty really is to make sure that those negative assumptions and judgment don't stand between us and our goal. So this actually made me think of a classic Buddhist story. So it goes like this. An individual come to the Buddha with anger and violent rage. The Buddha did nothing but calmly smile and ask the man. So the Buddha is talking. If someone comes to your house and offer you a gift that you refuse to accept, whose gift it is? So the angry man reply, well, the person who intended to give the gift will still own it. And the Buddha reply to him, and so it is with your anger. Our lesson here, I think, is to really refuse to accept unwanted gift and really be mindful about where we're giving to others, and remember that a gift that is not received just belongs to the giver. So the book of the week, I have it here, is The Tour according to G, according to Geraint Thomas. So if you're a cyclist, I don't think I need to introduce you to Geraint Thomas, two-times Olympian champion on the track, and the yellow jersey in 2018. Honestly, if you don't know him and you're a cyclist, please do your research. Honestly, the reading is very, very fun. Geraint Thomas tells us about his experience on the tour in a funny and relaxed way, while really making sure that we understand that to become the best cyclist in the world, it requires a colossal amount of effort and difficult choices. Honestly, it's a very, very, very interesting glimpse at what it takes to win the Tour de France. Honestly, if you need motivation right now, I could not suggest this book more strongly. So The Tour according to G. Finally, the album that I listened to the most this week during my training is the new Mayhem album. So Mayhem is a Norwegian black metal band, and their new album is called Daemon. I'm really aware that it's not going to please everyone, but if you think that an album that is extreme, violent, gloomy, and technical might please you, I really invite you to listen to it. If you ever like the album, do not hesitate to inform yourself about the band history. Listen to their first album, which is right there at the top of me, and listen to the documentary Until the Light Takes Us. I guarantee you the history of the band is very something. So yeah, that's about it for this week. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. And during that time, have a good training. Bye bye.